Hello friends, today we are heading back to Dallas, Texas. I just got back 3 days ago. We are going to go thrifting. If you haven't seen the first video from when I was recently in Dallas, I will link it down below. I actually need to create a playlist of all of my thrifting travels. If you are new here, consider subscribing. My name is Nikki. I've been a part-time reseller for over 10 years. I call Dallas my second home. My dad lives there. I checked my flights. I have been there 5 times already in 2025. Every time I go there, friends, I don't film because I'm there to spend time with my dad and my grandparents, but I have already filmed there twice or 3 times this year. I'm going back in December. So if you like come thrift with me videos, if you like travel, come thrift with me videos, I have literally taken everyone in this channel across the world. We have thrifted in Australia. I always forget about thrifting in Sydney. We've thrifted in Scotland, we've thrifted in Wyoming, we've thrifted in Japan. So I'm gonna create a playlist of all of my thrifting travels, because if you just like seeing come thrift with me's around the country and the world, I am your girl. I also live in Los Angeles and I thrift here weekly. So subscribe if you enjoy it. We're gonna go back 3 days to Dallas, and then I'm gonna come back here, present day Los Angeles. We're gonna go to the storage unit. I'm gonna show you what's sold. As I always say, grab a snack, grab a drink. It's gonna be a long one. Let's get into it. There is a fly in the office that is about to get murdered. Get out of here. Oh, I'm so tired of these flies. All right, friends, we are at Uptown Cheapkate, and I just filmed a video at Uptown Cheapkate in Los Angeles, and man, oh man, these prices were way more expensive than Los Angeles. I mean, their leggings you're gonna see are priced anywhere from like $12 to $24. This is again one of those stores that can be good if you're buying for yourself, but to resell, not so great. And when we go back to my office, you will hear me say it was just expensive, friends. And I actually went through this entire store. I try not to let 1 rack or 2 racks scare me of overpriced things. Look at how big this store is. I just didn't film it because I was like, they just don't want to see me going through things that are super expensive that I'm not going to purchase. The shoes were anywhere from like $20 to $60. I think I saw one pair of Target shoes for $15. They did have a lot of Target, a lot of boutique brands that are new with the tags. And those were priced okay, but they just weren't things that I would resell. I actually did a video, this reminds me, a pretty old video now, but it still holds true, about Target collabs. Sometimes Target will do collaborations with really expensive designers. I feel like one of the first ones they did was Victoria Beckham. I remember buying that in bulk and reselling it, and I did very well. They've been doing it for years now, and some of those can be really lucrative. But yeah, I'm really selective with what Target I pick up. It almost always has to be new with tags and something that's very sought after. So jeans were anywhere from $15 all the way up to $40. I'd say the average was $20. And I'm not talking like Mother frame. I'm talking Abercrombie, J. Crew. So I went through this entire jean rack. I will say one of the nice things about sourcing at a buy-sell trade store, they're usually a lot more organized than a thrift store. A lot of times on the tags, you can actually see the brand, which is so easy, and it's just easier to source because you can move faster. Spoiler alert, I didn't pick up anything from this section of the store. It was just really expensive. Like I said, great for personal buy, not so great for resale. Here's a section where I was talking about they had a lot of new boutique items. This was on the top rack. And a lot of them were plus size. A boutique brand I had never heard of, but this was not like one of those nicer boutique brands, that feels more premium. These felt flammable. I always get a question if I don't explain. What do you mean flammable? Like, that clothing that feels so cheap, if you stand next to a flame, you would be set ablaze. That's what I'm talking about. Like that type of
material. This one was actually pretty soft, and they were plus size. I just didn't, at this point, friends, I was so discouraged. I was like, I don't want to look up comps on this. It just does not feel like I could even double my money. Could have been wrong though, but I'm fairly certain they were not that great. So moving on, I was hoping maybe if I shopped off season, you know, like longer sleeve tops and sweaters, this would be better, but still not the best for reselling. Most things here were priced like $10 and up, which isn't bad, you know, if you can find some good brands, but it was just more Banana Republic, J. Crew, Ann Taylor, Target brands, boutique brands. So this one was also a no-go. Yeah. I'm trying to find the silver lining, but so we move on. I did check out the maxi dresses / romper section. I found that floral romper, Free People, but it had some staining and it was an extra small. Moved on, found this dress. This one was $19.99 or $15.99, but I couldn't see the stains at first, and then I always inspect white really closely because every time I get white home, I'm like, oh, there's no stains, and then you get it home like under your ring light or your light, and you're like, oh no, there's quite a few stains. So I was feeling hopeful in this section. I really liked this jumpsuit for myself. I was thinking about picking it up, $21.99. But I knew best than to try to squeeze into a small. I definitely needed a medium. So spoiler alert again, nothing here worth reselling. Just like I said, good for personal use, not so great to buy to resell.
If you are new here, the last part of the intro, friends, I live in a small jungle. I have an addiction to buying plants. So every summer, we have a fly problem. They're like those little plant gnats, and I'm using everything. I can see them. I'm using everything. Let me show you. You can get these little things at Home Depot or Amazon. It looks like a little apple, and they give you the solution. It's basically like apple cider vinegar and something else. And then they fly in here and they get trapped and they can't get out. I won't show you, but I've already caught so many. Anyway, I thought I should mention this because a lot of you were like, oh my gosh, I have that same problem. What are you using to get rid of them? I've gotten rid of a lot of them, but there's always like one lone rogue soldier that just flies around as soon as I turn the ring light on because, you know, they're attracted to the light. So anywho, I'm pretty sure I told you in the voiceover portion, that store was actually in Dallas proper. The first store, if you haven't seen that video, again, I'll link it down below. That one was actually in Louisville, which you all kindly informed me that's not Dallas County or Dallas Fort Worth. That's actually Denton. A lot of you, I love posting come thrift with me videos because inevitably there's always one person that's like, I'm from here. Like when I filmed in Billings, Montana, I think I've told you all this, those videos get pushed out to people that live in that state, in that city. So it's really cool to read the comments, and always on the Dallas videos, you friends are always educating me like on the area and stuff. And some of you are so kind to even tell me like where I should shop. A lot of you told me what like thrift giants I need to check out. Thrift Giant is quickly becoming one of my favorite Dallas thrift stores. Yeah, I think I might like Thrift Giants in Dallas more than actually like Goodwill. I mean, they're all great. I've always said, when someone asks me like, where are your top 3 places you've thrifted? One, I'm a little biased because I live here, but I'm not gonna lie, we have amazing thrifting in Los Angeles. It's just like cream of the crop. I have always told you all, I am not lost on the fact that where I live gives me an advantage in a reselling business. I mean, I can walk to thrift stores, I can walk to consignment stores. It's just great. Like, there's just a plethora of inventory here, whether you want to do boutique sales, you want to do luxury sales, you want to do high volume sales, like we have it all here. Number 2 has always been the Dallas area. I will say I haven't thrifted a lot in Houston, and I've never been to like San Antonio, Austin. I was telling hubby, I was like, we need to go to Austin. I come to Texas like 5 times a year and I've never been to Austin. It's not even that far from Dallas. So let's say Dallas is number 2. And I feel like this is kind of cheating, but number 3 honestly is Japan. They have the most unique thrifted items I have ever seen. Like, I'm trying to find somewhere else in the US. I would say Miami. Like, if I had to stay in the country, it would be Miami. And listen, I feel bad because I'm picking these major cities. I'm not trying to, but the truth is, there's just more access to, it's not even a higher end inventory, it's just the variety you can find in the cities. So if I had to stick to, not that any of you asked, but occasionally I get this question, it would probably be LA. But again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm very biased. I've been thrifting here for more than a decade. I know the hot spots. I know the honey holes. I know where the tourists don't go. Like, I know all that stuff to make it great. Some of you have come here and told me, like, I hated thrifting in LA. Some people just don't like it at all, period. And that's fine. Leave it for me. You stay there. I will stay here. Number 2, Dallas. Number 3 would be Miami. Or if I could just choose anywhere, I would put Miami 4. But you need to be, like, if you're going to the Miami outlet, if you have not seen those videos, people say, like, we're aggressive here in Los Angeles. We are not. I have been to the bins around the country. The most aggressive places were New Jersey / New York and Miami. Miami is like dog eat dog. It's wild. A lot of you told me I should have gone to I think the Fort Lauderdale bins. I'm not going back to the Miami bins. But I do like that huge thrift store right next door to the Miami bins. So yeah, anyways, all that to say, this store sucked. Like, their pricing was just ridiculous. And you find that in any major city. That's why I always say in these Come Thrift With Me videos, don't go to one store and let it sour you on a whole city, obviously. And don't go into one store and let one section sour you on the whole store. It's just, I went through almost that, and that's why I stopped filming. One, because I was like, I'm not gonna buy anything here, and this whole section of the video would just be me complaining about the pricing. So I was like, let me just stop. But I did keep looking through the store, and I was like, if I find something, then I'll tell them, hey, this is what I found. I didn't find anything, friends. The pricing was, I don't know what that was. I don't know. But you know what? Dallas is still number 2 in my eyes. Maybe when I hit up like San Antonio or Austin, or maybe when I go thrifting finally in Hawaii and Alaska. By the way, subscribe, because I am going thrifting in both of those states, and I will take you with me. But maybe when I thrift there, that'll knock Dallas down. Maybe it'll knock LA down. I don't know. We will see, friends, but this is not the end of the video. Let's keep going. Let's go to storage. Hello, friends. Currently at storage, packing up a box. This is for ThredUp, and then this is a bag I am taking to Crossroads. I am still selling on Crossroads, at Crossroads, just not as much as I used to, because I sell directly to thrift stores, and you guys know the drill. So if you're like, what are you talking about, Nikki? I sell directly to the managers / owners of a couple boutiques and thrift stores here in LA. I did a whole video, I'll link down below, where I walk you through the process A to Z, how I did it, how I made the connections. So I've cut back on going to Crossroads as much, because a lot of inventory I take to those other stores, but I haven't been there in a while. I know I said I still go, but honestly, I probably haven't been there in 2 months, and I used to go weekly. So I wanted to show you some things I am sending to ThredUp. All of these things are from the Goodwill outlet, meaning I paid, wait, no, that's not true. These 2 from the Goodwill outlet. This Jason Wu dress was from a Rent the Runway palette, and I paid $9 per item. So London Fog is a brand, used to sell great for me, and it sits so long, but it still sells for me on ThredUp. This is a very big, new with the tags trench coat. And when I mean big, I mean like heavy, actually, like substantial. This thing, I weighed it. It weighs 4 pounds. New with the tags. Brand has been around, well, that's interesting, since 1927. It has extra buttons and everything, so that is going to go to ThredUp. I paid $2. I will probably get like 80 net profit, maybe more. We will see. Don't worry. For you judgy friends that are like, oh my gosh, you just throw your stuff in the box. I come to storage
every day. So when I have inventory for ThredUp, I throw it in here, and then before I send them anything, because my goldies know, I send them very high-end stuff, so I make an itemized list of everything I'm sending them. So I take everything out. This is just a placeholder for now. I take everything out, make an itemized list, fold it up nice and neat, and put it back. Okay, so see how this is like nice and neat for Crossroads? That's what this box will look like in a couple days. These I got from the Goodwill outlet, Lafayette 148 petite elastic waist. These I did, you wouldn't know because they're so wrinkled. I did actually wash, stain treat, and dry these. They're still so wrinkled. I got these from the Goodwill outlet. I got these from the Goodwill outlet in Dallas, so I paid like $1.50 for these. And then this Jason Wu dress is plus size. It is a size 16 or 12? 16. And there's the Rent the Runway sticker. I paid $9 for this. This dress retailed for close to $400. And I'm doing really well selling dresses, gowns, everything like that on ThredUp right now. So that's going to go in. But like I said, this will be nice and neat before I send this to them. I'm going to throw in some purses, some shoes, some wallets. So I just like to show you little snippets of what I'm sending in because you all have asked for that. And then this is the stuff I'm going to take to Crossroads. I don't know. Are you all interested in me showing you what I'm taking to Crossroads? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like it'd be a pretty boring video. I can show it to you though, but I think what I like to actually see is what they take. I just want to know what they take and what they pay you. But if you all want to see what I'm taking and like what they don't accept, what they do accept, let me know. But I'm going to fill this up and take this soon. And then that's going to go to ThredUp like in 2 days. 2 days, this will be completely full. And I'll report back on Crossroads.